remember, last week we have learned about working capital also management, but last week that one will be more on a general view. Last week, if you remember, we have calculated the working capital ratios line, and then we discussed about the working capital policies of a company. All right, so that one will be more like a general picture, the biggest picture. And today we are still going to discuss the working capital management, but we will be focusing, we zoom in to the smaller items lah. So we are going to talk about the 4 important elements in the working capital management, which including inventory management, receivable, payables, and cash management. So here, I hope that all of you have an idea when you come to all these like inventory management, receivable management, you should understand they are under working capital management, this big family. All right. Just for information, this one will not be covered in your midterm test next Friday. Okay, next Friday is until chapter 7. So if working capital management is coming out in your midterm, then it will be like more a general picture of working capital cycle, working capital ratios, or working capital policies will be tested, but not here. But we still need to learn because this one for final. All right. So I have already included all the important calculations in this chapter 8. All right, so when it comes to inventory management, I think all of you should have learned that before. Usually when it comes to calculation, definitely will be EOQ, the economic order quantity. So how many units you should order every time. This formula will help you to calculate out. Okay, it's under inventory management. Of course, there are all the other theories like just-in-time system also is one of the inventory management methods. But here is only for calculations. Involve calculations one, I have listed that down. So hope that you are clear. Like when you come to that calculation, you know this one is belongs to which part. Okay. And then receivable management. If you are talking about receivable management, usually the question could ask you to calculate. Because if you are talking about receivable management, one of the things that you can do will be, should you offer discount to your credit sales customers? So basically, you offer trade discounts, telling them, if you pay me earlier, then I will give you some discount. Okay, so the question usually will be, should you offer this discount? Because the discount that you are giving is a cost. You cannot receive back 100% because you are giving a discount. So it's a cost. So basically what you need to do is to compare this cost to overdraft interest. Why do we do like that? You can think like, put it simple, you can think like, the reason that you offer discount is to receive back the cash earlier, is to get back the money earlier. All right. In order to get the money, actually there are many ways. One, you can offer discount to get back the money earlier, or you can borrow money. You can using your credit facility like overdraft to borrow money also. So in here you need to compare the cost. So basically here, if we are talking about cost, the lower the better. Which means if you calculate if I'm giving discount, continuing doing that for 1 year, the cost 15%, so I can get back the cash earlier. The overdraft cost only 10%. So as well, I go to borrow money, you do 1 year I pay 10%. Why do I need to give discount, pay 15%? You get what I mean? So when compare the cost, it could be in percentage. In lecture class 1, in your lecture notes 1, we are comparing by using percentage. Okay, but in your BPP textbooks, they are comparing in RM. They are the same. It's just that one in percentage, one in RM. All right. Because in RM1, not in your lecture notes, but no worry, I have already included one question in the tutorial question later. You will see that question too. Understand the logic? So the question maybe will ask you to compare. Which one is better? Should you offer the discount? And another one will be another type of calculation. It could be factoring versus non-factoring. Factoring, this one later I will give you a revision also. I will show you the YouTube video again. So again, basically it's compare the cost. should you use the factoring? It's like outsourcing. You outsource to factor. So should you use factoring service, or you should not? You should manage yourself, compare the cost. Okay, while for the payables management, no worry, this one, usually nothing much to calculate. It's same with receivable management, this one. It's just that different perspective. For receivable management is you are the one who is giving offer. So you are thinking, should I give offer or not? That one is receivable management. Payables management will be you are the customer. So should you accept the discount or not from your supplier? The calculation, they are exactly the same. Just that over here, this one is the cost. The one you are calculating is cost. You are giving the discount, so it's a cost for you. So you select the lower cost one. When it comes to payables management, it's savings. So you select the higher one over here, opposite. Calculation, everything is the same. Alright? And then at the end will be cash management. So for cash management, the two methods involved calculation will be Balmore model. Balmore model is same with EOQ. Later we have one question I will let you all try on the spot. Okay, it's exactly the same one, same concept. Alright, just that that apply also in cash management. And another is Miller-Orr model, this formula. Miller-Orr, there is one example in the lecture notes, you can look on that. Involve calculations one. Alright? So basically that's all for the calculations. Today also mainly on calculations. By the way, are all of you from diploma or from year 1? I just want to know. Oh, all of you are from year 1, so from this group. Okay. All of you, or some of you are from year 1, while the others from other universities. Most of you from year 1. Year 1, okay. So just wondering, in your year 1, I think you all have learned EOQ. Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. I think you all have learned this one, EOQ. Alright. How about factoring versus non-factoring, comparing the cost? Did you all do something like that before? Compare the cost of factoring versus non-factoring. Have you all learned that before? EOQ, I think yes EOQ. Correct me if I'm wrong. But how about factoring versus non-factoring, calculation one, to compare the cost one? Other factoring. Last year only one. Should be in your principle of finance if the other than the other. Because I need to know your level. Because if you are year 1, then different from the previous 2 groups already. The previous 2 groups, they are from diploma. In diploma, I taught them before. I only realized, I think yesterday, I realized, most of them from diploma progression. It means that they learn, in diploma, they learn financial management before. And financial management, in diploma, for working capital, this chapter has already covered almost everything. So for them, it would be easier. So I need to know, because I never teach year 1 before. So how about year 1 students? Have you all learned this before? Factoring versus non-factoring. If you all never learned that before, then later I will spend more time to explain. You're not sure? Hey, how could it be? Hey, only 1 year, you're only year 2. How about the others? What have y'all done last year, okay? It's only 1 year only. Not very long time ago, okay? No, okay? Should be no lah. If God, then you should know one, he said. Not saying that, oh, you are year 4 already, now I'm asking you something in year 1. Hey, last year only, it's like you blur for 1 year already, okay? I guess no lah, maybe I think factoring and non. But EOQ, yes, EOQ definitely, I think you all learn that. Okay, just that the factoring versus non-factoring, I think this one you all never learned that before. Okay, I think so. Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. Because I need to know. Because for them, I can go through very fast because they have learned that before already in diploma. Same one. I mean, just for this working capital management, the syllabus in your BPP and the diploma level, that working capital management is very similar in terms of the calculations. So for them, it would be easier lah. But no worry, okay, same one. I can tell you a lot of them also have already forgotten. Okay, I'm also very disappointed. Okay, but at least they remember lah. At least they remember. Yeah, yeah, yeah. This one learned before. Okay, for diploma. But I think for you all never learned that lah. Okay, just to double confirm. So later factoring versus non-factoring, I will spend more time. All right. Today actually quite relaxing. Mostly calculation. I think the group can start to present right now. Question one. Okay, Nabil is presenting.
Hi sir, I'm gonna present question 1A.
Okay, no problem.
Nabil, next. Okay, the first question is sir, I need to read the question?
I don't think so lah. You may just proceed with the answer we will do.
Okay, okay, the first thing is calculate the total inventory cost at the economic order quantity, the EOQ. The second one is calculate the total inventory cost if the company wants to. So the first one is EOQ is the order quantity that minimize the excluding all. So the formula is square root 2 cost ordering cost times holding cost. Next. So for the 2 times 5,000, 5,000 is the cost per order times by 300,000 is the demand per year divided by 5% times 100 ringgit. So you will get the answer 24,494.9. So round off to 24,495 units. So that's the EOQ. Next. So for the part one, also we need to calculate the total inventory cost that consume of total holding cost plus purchase cost. Substitute all the numbers into the formula. So the answer will get 30,122,475 ringgit. Next. For the question 2, calculate the total inventory cost if the company wants to take the bulk order discount of 1%. So the cost per unit will reduce by 1% discounts. So it will reduce to 99 ringgit. So we sub all the numbers into the total inventory cost formula. So we will get 29,962,500 ringgit.
Okay, everything is correct here.
The last part is according to your answer in part A Roman 1 and part A Roman 2 above, explain whether Relax Sendirian Berhad should accept the 1% discount. So from the part A Roman 1, we get the total inventory cost of 30,122,475 ringgit. In the part 2, after the bulk order discount, we get 29,962,500 ringgit. So the net saving for Relax Sendirian Berhad is 159,975 ringgit. So in
Oh,
conclusion, Relax Sendirian Berhad should accept the 1% discount by ordering 100,000 units per order as they can achieve a net saving of 159,975 ringgit.
okay, very good. Everything is correct here.
That's all.
This one is actually also a pass here. Okay, you may proceed. I'm more interested on B right now for the theory part.
Ah,
Okay, that's all from me, sir.
Okay, no problem. Thank you, Sugashini.
sir, I'll be presenting question B, question 1B.
Okay, Nabil.
Wait. So question B says, explain economic order quantity with a graphical presentation. So the definition of EOQ is the best order quantity that minimizes the total cost of inventory, which includes holding costs plus ordering costs plus purchase costs to get the reorder quantity. So the formula is the EOQ is equals to 2 times CO, which is the ordering cost, times D, which is the demand in units for one period, divided by the holding cost per unit, and we square root it all, the answer. Sir, I borrow your table.
Okay, very good. Okay.
um, so you can see here, this is example. The purchase cost per unit is 5 ringgit, while the holding cost per unit is 1 ringgit. The cost of ordering per order is 10 ringgit, and the annual demand is 100 units. So if we order the units in these 10, 20, 30, 40 and so on, we'll get different total inventory costs. So the lowest of them all is by ordering 40 to 50 units per order. So by using those values, we can plot a graph which will get by this, and the EOQ is between um, is usually at this part, so the EOQ will be 45 units. So that's all. Thank you.
Okay, and Nabil, hold on first. Okay. I have some questions for all of you. All right. Okay, for this one, the X axis, okay, the below that one is actually your order quantity lah. Order quantity, the Q, basically means that how many units per order. It means that when you order from your supplier, usually one time you order how many units, right? So you can see that when you are increasing the Q, the more units you order per time, okay. First, you see the blue color, that one is increasing. That one is cost of holding. So cost of holding is increasing, which is normal. Why cost of holding is increasing is because when you order more units, you keep more inventory. So when you are keeping more inventory, then definitely the cost will be higher. I think all of you can understand. So it's a linear increasing, straight line. All right, upward sloping, linear upward sloping. While for the orange color one, as all of you can see right now, okay, that one is ordering cost. Ordering cost will be when you order every time, maybe the delivery fees you need to pay every time when you order, regardless of how many units as long as you order one time, you pay berapa. So you can see that one will be dropping if you order more units per time, which is also making sense. Because you see, if like just now from the example, 1 year you need 100 units. If every time you order 10 units, then 1 year you need to order 10 times. I repeat, if 1 year your annual demand, your donkey is 100, every time you order only 10 units, then it means that 1 year you need to order 10 times in order to have the 100 units. So you need to pay 10 times the cost. So at the beginning, it's very high, the orange color. But when you are increasing, you order more units. For an example, if you order 20 units per time right now, so 1 year you only order 5 times, so you only pay 5 times for the cost. So you can see the cost will drop very fast. All right, so it will be a downward sloping, but it's a curve. And when you combine them together, then you will see the gray color. That one is the total cost, right? It's the total cost. Okay. So now my question, because actually the question is asking your explain EOQ with a graphical presentation. So actually, if the question asks you like that, you must base on this graph to explain. So basically, you can explain, oh, the holding cost increasing is because of you order more, you store more, so increasing. While the ordering cost decreasing is because when you order more per times, you order lesser times per year, so the cost reducing. I hope you understand that. But the last part, the toughest part will be why the gray color one, the total cost, when you add two together, why will drop first, then after that increase back? Any idea? I want to listen your opinion on that. Why? Understand my questions, okay? My question just asking, because in the exam, if I ask you like that, you must explain why the total cost, total combined CH and CO, why will drop first and then increase back, and then the lowest point, the interception, will be the EOQ. Nabil explained that interception is the EOQ that one best 145. That one is correct, but you must also explain the 3 lines in the graph. Any idea? I wait for your answer. Give you 2 minutes before I explain. You can unmute yourself, or you can use the chat box if you want to try to answer this one. Any idea? No idea. Okay, very honest, Zihong. So never mind. Production efficiency already max. Well, Xiang Yuan has a very advanced answer for that. Okay, but here it's not really talking about production efficiency. Okay, let me explain. Okay, hold on. I will take over your screen. Thank you for your presentation, Nabil. Okay, so basically, actually, all your answers are correct from your group. Okay, other than the last part when you explain the graphical one, is not that complete, your explanation. So I think I will add on that part. Okay. Let's start the other graph. I think here. Yeah. All right. Okay, so as you all can see, like what okay, just a brief. I know that you all have learned that before, but just a quick revision on what EOQ is. Again, EOQ is basically the Q, units per order, that can result in the lowest cost. So put it simple, if you order at EOQ by using the formula, okay, we have one formula, the square root of 2CO times T divided by CH, that formula. If you are using that formula, basically if you give you the lowest inventory cost, provided no discount given, it should be the lowest already. If you order at EOQ, it's the best one. All right. So in order to prove that, so I have one example here from the lecturer class 1. So as you can see, this one is the Q. So if we increase the Q, if we order more and more, first thing you will see will be this one. This one not needed first. First thing you will see will be the cost of holding. Cost of holding, like what I said, is you order more, you keep more inventory, then this one will increase. So when you order more, cost of holding will be increasing. Makes sense, right? So that's why it's the blue line. This is the blue line, increasing at a straight line. If you ask me why this one is a straight line, because you see, for every increment 10 units, if you increase 5 ringgit cost, so it's consistent one. From 10 to 20, increase 5 ringgit cost. From 90 to 100, increase 5 ringgit cost. Can you see? So it's consistent, the increment. That's why it's a straight line. And if you ask again, hey, why this one consistent? Very simple. Because the relationship between cost of holding and Q and the order quantity, as you can see, is a times relationship. Anything with a times relationship, simple times relationship like 1 times 2, 2 times 2, 3 times 2, 4 times 2 will be linear one if you plot the graph. Because times simpler times relationship. So that's why it's straight line. Okay? While for cost of ordering, again, cost of ordering will be every time when you order from your supplier, you need to pay some cost. Maybe for the lorry fees, petrol, all these things. Every time you order one time. Delivery fees, one time, you need to pay, regardless of the amount. You order one time, order 10 unit, also pay same amount. One time order 100 unit, also pay same amount. So that's why the lesser time you order, 1 year you need to pay more. Because in this case, again, annual demand is 1 year you need how many units? 1 year you need 100. Every time you order, only order 10 units. So 1 year you order 10 times off. 1 time 10 ringgit, 10 times 100 ringgit. Can understand how to calculate this one? CO times D divided by Q. D divided by Q basically is 1 year you order how many times? Times CO is 10. Every time you order, you need to pay 10 ringgit. Alright? And you can see this one will be expressed in this yellow color. As you can see, this yellow color at the beginning is very steep, the slope. But it will be getting flattened later on. Okay, what's the reason? Actually, the reason very simple. It is because this one is divided, the relationship. The relationship between cost of ordering and Q is divided, Anything with a divided relationship is not going to be linear one. The impact will be getting smaller and smaller. You can see from here, you see, you increase the units per order from 10 to 20, the cost will reduce 50 ringgit. Can understand? Because if you order only 10 units per order, 1 year you order 10 times, you pay 100. But if you order 20 units, 1 year only order 5 times, you pay only 50. Can you see? You save a lot of money at the beginning. But you see another increment, also the same. Also you increase another 10 units. Can you still save 50 ringgit? Like just now, you can't. It will be getting smaller and smaller, the money you save. Even though the increment in here is consistent, but the saving here will be getting lower and lower. Because it is divided, it cannot be linear one. It cannot go to zero. So it will be getting smaller and smaller, the impact. Okay? And due to this reason, and one more thing, purchase cost in EOQ is not important. Because as you can see, regardless how many units per order you are ordering, at the end of the day, 1 year you still need 100. Which means that regardless you order 10 units per time, you order 20 units, 30 units per time, 1 year is also 100. So the annual purchase cost will remain the same. That's the reason why in EOQ, you see, we do not need to include the purchase cost of the item one, even though it's one of the inventory costs, but we do not need to include. Reason is because EOQ saying that it's not important, you order more, order lesser, still the same. So this one not needed. Okay, so basically we just see the CH and CO will do. All right, and now from here, from these two, when you add up together, the gray color one will be this one. Basically, it's just this add this one will be 105 lor. 10 plus 50 will be 60 lor, and so on. So that's why you will get the gray color total cost. Okay, so now back to our question just now. All right, why this gray color will drop and then increase back? Actually, the reason very simple. It is because when at the beginning you add the order, the units per order, when you add, okay, the cost only increase 5 ringgit, holding cost more 5 ringgit, but you save berapa here? From the ordering cost, you save 50, which means your total cost will drop 45. I repeat, why this one will drop? Very simple, is because your cost of holding is consistent one, increasing. Every 10 units increase per order, the cost only increase 5 ringgit. You pay additional 5 ringgit for that. But the cost of savings, the saving, not cost, the savings that you can save from cost of ordering when you increase, you save 50 ringgit. You pay extra 5, but you save 50. So the net saving 45. That's the reason why if you bring down the total cost, all right, until certain level, for example, if you look at this one, until right now, until here. Some things like from here onward, I can tell you the cost will increase back. You see, the cost increase back. Why increase back? Very simple. Because from 60 to 70, when you add, okay, holding cost still increase 5 ringgit. Your cost increase 5 ringgit. But the money you can save from ordering cost, berapa? And then only 2 ringgit something. You save 2 ringgit but pay extra 5 ringgit. Of course, the total cost will increase back. Alright, that's the reason why the total cost will drop first and then increase back. And then EOQ, basically, don't talk about EOQ first. So basically, if we are smart enough one, we look at that, we also know, of course, we select the lowest cost one. Should be somewhere in here. But it's very difficult. If every time I need to do like that, I need to plot everything, show every unit per order. Very troublesome. So actually, no need one. We can use the formula EOQ. This formula will give us the answer directly. Which means if we are following 45, actually just now data the best. Because if you calculate 45 is the best. So if we use 45, you can see the calculation. Definitely is the lowest one, the cost. See, total cost of holding plus total cost of ordering is the lowest here. So 45 is always the best. Is the EOQ. Okay, this is provided no discount is given. Just now I have already explained. Because if no discount is given, total purchase cost always the same. So definitely this one is the best. When there is no discount. But like just now the question now, okay, how about with discount? I think you all have learned that before. If with discount, what does that mean? With discount, it means that right now your total purchase cost no longer consistent, no longer fixed. Because maybe the question will be telling you, if you order 50 units and above, I give you 1% discount or 2% discount. Right? Let's say 1% discount. Supposedly this one is already the lowest if you compare total inventory cost. This one is already the lowest EOQ. When there is no discount, definitely is the lowest between two costs only. EOQ can give you the lowest between the two costs. So definitely is the lowest one. But if the question telling you, if you order more, bulk purchase, I give you discount 1% enough. Which means from here onward, it will be 297, Because 1% discount, 1% discount on your purchase cost. So here onward will be 297. So which means that whenever there is a discount given, we can no longer say EOQ is the best. Because EOQ assume this one is fixed. If this one is fixed, EOQ is the best. But when this one is not fixed because of the discount, then we need to recalculate everything. So like in this case, after we recalculate, you compare. So now which one is the lowest? It seems like order at 50 is the best, better than EOQ. Because you order at EOQ, yes, CH plus CO is the lowest. This one is a fact. But if you order here, you cannot get discount at purchase cost left. So it's 344.72. If you order at 50, yes, total CH plus CO is higher than EOQ, but you can get the discount at the purchase cost. 3 ringgit extra discount. So you add everything up, actually this one is the lowest, so we should accept the discount. But again, the discounts, it also depends. Sometimes even you include the discount, it is still the EOQ lower. So we go with the EOQ. If you see, after with the discount one is better, lower cost, then we select the discount. That's the logic behind this kind of question. Again, this one I have already uploaded, so you can test yourself. If you still don't understand, okay, you can try to understand with this figure. Okay, I'll redo already, never mind. Okay, because this one all formulated one, you try to understand from here. Okay. Just a quick one. Definitely all of you have learned this one. I assume all of you have learned this one. EOQ, I think all of you can calculate, no problem. Total inventory cost, I also think all of you should be able to calculate, no problem. Okay, the total inventory cost at EOQ. But all of you should understand when you calculate the total inventory cost at EOQ, provided there is no discount given, no discount. You order berapa cent purchase cost, no discount given. I can tell you, confirm this is the lowest cost because you order at EOQ. This is the lowest for sure. But later on, the question telling you, but this question, if you order, because your EOQ is only 24,000, every time you order 24,000 plus is the best. But suddenly the question telling you, if you order at 100,000 one time, I give you discount 1%. So when this happen, don't panic, very simple one. The only difference is the purchase cost, you need to adjust. You need to times 99% because of the 1% discount. And in this question, you need to be careful another thing. Usually only purchase cost will be impacted, okay, with the discount. But if you look at this question, because can you see this one? Holding cost is as a percentage of cost per unit 5%. So here saying your holding cost is 5% from your purchase cost. So when your purchase cost is cheaper right now, your holding cost also will be cheaper. So in this case, if you refer to the former answer in the future for revision, remember this one. Why this one also need to times 99% for the holding cost is because in this question, your holding cost is based on the purchase cost. So when the purchase cost cheaper, your holding cost also cheaper. But this kind of question depends on this kind of things depends on the question. Because sometimes the question could give you, if I change the question, holding cost per unit, if I change to something like this, RM5, if I change the question like this one, do you need to times 99%? No need. Okay, because holding cost will not be entitled for any discount. You just follow 5. So 5 here, okay? No need to times 99%. In this answer with times 99% is because the question saying the holding cost based on purchase cost. So when purchase cost cheaper, this one also cheaper. So after that, we have calculated, or if we take the discount, is less than 30 million. So it's even cheaper. So we should take the discount. Should accept the discount. Okay, and with the graphical, all the answers are here. If you do not know how to explain because I talk too much, here will be the answer. I think that's all for question 1. 1 minute. If you have any question, you can ask me on the EOQ. Should be no big problem lah. But again, calculative question, you need to try yourself. All of you have already received your assignment back. So if any questions on your assignment, because I have yet to key into the intranet one, if you have any questions on your assignment, maybe you don't understand my comments, or actually sometimes I could also misunderstand your discussions also, feel free to come to me. If you don't mind, you can share to everyone. If you mind one, you come to me personally. We can discuss on that one, no issue on that. I mean, if I think that your justification is reasonable, I will add mark to you. It's not fixed one. I'm not just like, fixed already. No. If you think, because sometimes I also make mistake, I must admit that. You know, when I mark, it cannot be too diffuse. So if I read, sometimes I will just put question mark, or I have a lot of things I want to write, but I cannot write. So you don't understand what is that. What does that mean? So maybe you can come to me, I can explain to you. Or I comment something, you think that, actually I'm trying to talk about different thing, but maybe I misunderstand your, your initial objective already, then you can let me know. Right, and next week is your, actually because yesterday the class asked me the weightage, okay. I think I told you all before in the lecture notes, lecture class before. Your midterm is more important than your assignment, Your assignment, if I use 100% your coursework, 100 marks, your midterm 60 marks, Your group assignment plus individual only 40. Your group, I think, 28. Individual assignment 12. And your midterm 60, So that's why put more effort for your midterm test. I think I told you all before, one of the questions, the only guideline I can give you will be, one of the question will be WACC. So make sure you score in that question. Another question I cannot give you. I give you one question is to help you all at least, you can pass. So try your very best on that. All right, if you have no question, I think we can proceed to question 2 right now. It's a very short question.
For question 2, the current receivables, if there is no discount being given, the current receivable is of 4.5 million, which is the credit sales, is expected to be received within 60 days. So the current receivable will be 4.5 million multiplied by 60 and divided by 360 days, and we will get 750,000. And the new receivables will be when the discount is being given, and we will be receiving 35% of the credit sales within 30 days. And the remaining 65% will be received within 60 days. So we will get the new receivable, which is 618,000 K and 750. So there will be a reduction in receivable, which is amounted to 131,250. This is the amount we actually received from the discount given, and from this amount we will be saving 10% of the interest, because after we receive this amount we don't have to borrow from the overdraft. So we will save 10% from this amount. So we use this amount multiplied by 10%, and we will get 13,000, which is the amount saved because of the discount given. And the cost of discount will be 4.5 million multiplied by the 35%, which is the 35% of credit sales expected to be received because of the discount being given. And the 1% will be the discount rate. So this is the cost of giving the discount. And since the cost of discount is higher than the interest we can save from the discount, so there will be a net loss of 2,625.
Okay, very good. Jianping, I think from your explanation and the way that you show your calculation, 100% you understand the questions and everything is okay. Very, very good on that. Okay, I appreciate your presentation. Thank you, Jianping, for your presentation. Everything is correct here. And very clear. It's clearer than the former answer, I would say. So I resume my presentation first. Okay, so for the others, again, this question is asking you about receivable management, whether or not should you offer the discount. Okay, like what I said, this kind of question is either they ask you to calculate. Usually, net impact will be the RM in terms of RM, in RM or in percentage. All right, in percentage one, if you remember, will be the formula from our lecture notes. That one no need because this one is in RM. So basically, if you look through this one, Warren's Corporation has annual credit sales 4.5 million, and average customers take 60 days to pay. All right, assuming 360 days per year. As a result, this company has a trade receivables of 750,000 at the very beginning. Okay, actually you can calculate this one also, because you have the what you call that, the receivable days. You have the receivable days, you have 1 year 360 days, and then credit sales for 4.5 million. So from here, actually you use the formula, receivable days formula, you'll be able to get back this one. But it's already given, which means, just for you all to understand this question better, which means this question, your average receivable at the beginning, before you do anything, before you offer discount, your average receivable is 750,000. Okay, before you give discount. All right, and then of course the question will be asking you, if you were to offer discount 1% for payment in 30 days, which means that they pay within 30 days, you give 1%. It expects that 25% of its customers, representing 35% of the figures, here. Actually, this question, I get this one from your BPP textbooks, okay? So it's a little bit tricky here. So which percentage do you follow? Definitely we follow the figures, because the customers, this one I then refer to the number of the customers. Some customer that order more, some customer that order lesser one. You cannot just use 25% times your whole figure. So this one we will follow the 35%. We based on the figures, not based on the number of your customers. So here saying that if you offer this discount, 35% from your credit sales figures will be entitled for this discount, which means that 25% of the customer will take the discount. But in terms of amount, it's 35%. We follow this 35%. All right, we will pay in 30 days. Okay, so just now, if we calculate, we can use Jianping way also, or if you want, Jianping way is to calculate the new receivable amount. Okay, he calculated very good. Okay, including the 30 days one, 35% from 4.5 million plus the 65% that they won't take up. So 65% still follow the 60 days one. So just now I have taken the picture, okay? So it means that if you drop this amount, your average receivable, okay, if you drop this amount of money, so I think it's drop 131250. Okay. Actually, you can also use 4.5 million times 30 divided by 360 times 35%. the drop in days, because if you are doing that from 60 to 30 days, drop 30 days. So if you use the 30 days times 35%, times 4.5 million, you will be able to get this figure also, the drop in the receivable. Either way will do, but here just telling you. So if you are doing that, your receivable will drop this amount of money. I need to put it smaller. Okay. Alright. Alright. So now, it is asking you, should you offer this discount or not? And it is telling you here, why do I draw that one? Because I want you all to understand this thing. The company relies on an overdraft to finance this at an annual interest rate of 10%. Okay, which means if you all remember, all the working capital, or as long as asset, this one is current asset, as long as that this one is an asset of the company, definitely is financed by something one, because you need money to finance that one. So it's telling you all of these, your average receivable is financed by overdraft at a cost of 10%. Which means this amount, or you can think like that, because receivable, sometimes students very hard to imagine, why do we need to finance receivable? You can think like that. Your inventory, do you need money to buy? You need money to buy, Where do you get the money from? From this question is from overdraft. So overdraft is a short-term borrowing. So you borrow money from overdraft at a cost of 10% to purchase the inventory. After you have sold the inventory, you haven't get back the cash, the inventory will become receivable. So your receivable is still financed by your overdraft one, because when you are doing business, all the cash will be financed by something. Here is financed. The question is saying that it's financed by overdraft. So this amount, you need to pay a cost of 10% per year one. So if your amount drop, now is if you offer discount, this one will drop 131250 if you look at the former answer. This means you can finance lesser, you can save on this cost. So the former answer you will see OD interest save, they will be using 131250 times 0.1, which will be 13112, I think 0.5. 13125, sorry, because times 0.1. This one is the OD interest save. You save back the interest. Because like what I said, remember in finance, all the assets must be financed by something one. So here the question telling you your receivable financed by OD. So if you offer discount, you get back the money earlier. And from the calculation we know, when you can get back part of the money earlier, your receivable amount drop, it dropped this amount of money. Drop, it means that you don't need to finance so many working capital, so you save some cost from here. This is the OD interest save. Happy, okay? But how about the cost? You give this discount, so the cost for doing so will be 35% from 4.5 million will be entitled for 1% discount. So this discount is your cost, you are giving this discount. So if you calculate, is 15750. So now the question basically asking you, should you offer this discount? Pretty simple. If you offer this discount, all the interest that you can save, okay, no need to finance so many already, drop already, or you can think like that. Or you can think another way. If you don't understand this way, you also can think like that. When your average receivable drop, what does that mean? When your average receivable drop to 618750, drop 131250, what does that mean? Average receivable drop. It means that you receive cash. You also can think like that, correct? Just like when your inventory level drop, it means what? It means you sell the inventory and you get back the cash. Same applies here. When your average receivable drop, it means that your customer pays you back the money, you get back the cash. So you can use the cash to save the overdraft interest. You can save back this much. Okay, can understand like that? But it's not free of charge one, because if you want to do that, you need to give this discount. This discount, as a cost, you need to pay this much. So should you offer? You should not offer, because you can save 13,000, but you need to pay about 16,000 for that. What's the point? So no point for that. So that's why the formal answer is a net cost. If you read the formal answer, it's not net savings. If net savings, we do that. Net cost 2625. If you are doing that, you are paying additional cost on that 2625. So might as well you use the OD to finance. No need to get back the cash, also useless. Okay, because the cost too much. Can understand? Also 1 minute. So this kind of question is either ask you to compare in amount, like this one, okay, or in percentage. So I won't show you the percentage one, but if you want to know, the previous groups actually they show also in percentage. So in amount, net cost from the formal answer, but actually this question does not ask us the percentage. Net cost is 2625. Okay, if you calculate in percentage, if you remember the formula, what 100 divided by 100 minus t power of 365 divided by t minus 1, that formula, if you calculate in percentage, you will see something like that. Cost of discount, you will get, I think it's 12.8%, if I'm not mistaken. Let me calculate. 1 divided by 0.99. Power of 12. Yep, 12.8178. And interest saved in percentage is 10%. So same result. If you use the formula in our lecture notes, we are comparing in percentage one. But in your BPP, they like to compare in RM. So either way also can. Alright, so I show you both. That's why I include this question. This one is directly from your BPP one. Alright, you can compare either in amount or in this one, or in the cost of discount. So even though you compare in percentage, also the same. The cost of discount is 12%. Interest you can save only 10%. So you don't want to offer this discount. The cost is too high. If you are interested, you can calculate yourself, but the question does not ask you to calculate. If you want to know how to calculate this one, you can go back to lecture notes. We have the calculative example that you can see. All right. Okay, right now, if you have no question, question 3 is a very simple question. Why do I include this question? It's just because that in our lecture notes, we do have Palmer model, but we do not have a calculative example on that. So I include one question here. And I think today we have so many time, so much time. I think I will let you all try on the spot. Yeah, I will let you all to try on the spot. It doesn't show you the answer. Okay. Just a very short question actually. I give you all the formula and all the indication. This one is actually same with your EOQ, exactly the same. It is just that they apply the same concept for cash management only. This one is also from your BPP, because I look for one example from the BPP textbook. Okay. So now all of you can calculate the EOQ by using this formula from this question. I will wait for an answer. So all of you please do that. I give you everything here already. You should be able to get the answer. inventory is exactly the same with EOQ inventory management. Because in inventory management, this one will be the cost of holding, cost of holding the inventory. And in here will be cost of holding the cash. Because if you are holding cash, you have some cost one, you have the cost of like losing, you have the opportunity cost of not investing your money properly. It's the cost of holding the cash. So it's the interest cost of holding the cash. So C here just now is the cost of ordering. Every time when you order, you get inventory, you need to pay something. In here will be cost per sales of securities. This is every time when you want to get the cash, you need to sell your shares. So you have some brokerage fees there. So every time when you do that, you need to pay this cost, C. S is the donkey just now. In inventory management, it's the annual demand. In 1 year, you need how many units of inventory. So this one is in 1 year, you need how much cash. It's exactly the same, same concept, just that they change the items only. I wait for your answer. Oh, so fast. I thought you so fast. In RM. Okay, and in percentage, okay percentage, I give you hints. Which one should be 0.04? I think some of you are still thinking, hey, this one interest is macam mana? Okay, why 0.04? Because you see, okay, here saying short-term investments, you can earn 5%. If you are holding cash, you will earn 1%, which means that the net cost for you to hold the cash is actually 4%. You can think like that. It means that if you are holding cash, not investing, you earn 1%. If you don't hold the cash, you use that, you invest in short-term investment, you can earn 5%. So the net cost for you to hold the cash is actually 4%, which is 0.04 here. A little bit tricky here, because usually they will just tell you, because usually if you hold cash, no interest one, so usually just use 5%. But your BPP question, I follow that lot. They mentioned that if you're holding cash, you still have 1%, maybe saving account 1%. But supposedly you can invest one. If you invest, you can get 5%. So you have a net cost of holding that cash. If you hold that cash, your net opportunity cost is 4%. So it's 0.04 here. Other than that, should be no problem already. At the end, it's in RM. In RMW. Your EOQ is in RM. And this EOQ, it means in cash management, it means later on you get the amount. It means that every time when you use, when you finish your cash already, when you want to withdraw the cash from sales of security or by any way, every time you need to withdraw, cannot tell the answer. You need to withdraw that amount, the amount that you calculated. Just like inventory, inventory management is every time when you order how many units. This one is every time you withdraw the money, how much you need to withdraw per time. So it's in RM. Try to calculate until you get the answer. No answer yet. It should be very fast, this one. Try. 2 more minutes. Okay, we have some answer here, Nabil. Very good. Okay, cheating also. Yep, you are right. So the answer is about 55,000. Okay, but if in the exam you write like that, I think 1 mark will be deducted. Reason to the nearest thousand. So the answer is 55,000. All right. So sometimes read the question carefully. Like now you put there, you lose marks. Okay. But very good. Okay, the answer is just like that. Quick one. Because this one actually very simple, nothing to discuss also. Just that I give you one example. So you know how to calculate. Okay, 1 minute before I proceed to the last question. The last question, I think you all never learned that before one. So never mind, I will guide you all step by step. Okay. If you have no question, then we proceed to the last question. This one, I will show you all step by step how to do that. Okay. So BJ company has annual credit sales of 1 million. Okay. Credit customer take 45 days to pay bad debts. Okay. Blah blah blah. And a factor. This one I think I need to show you this video first. I think in the lecture class I have already shown you all, but because if we go back to this one, just to give you all have a clear picture So basically, like what I said, all of these will be the important calculations in working capital management. All right. So EOQ, we have done that already in question 1. Receivable management, should you offer the discount? This one done already. In percentage one, you can go back to your lecture note. There will be examples. Calculation 1, I think 2, more than enough and then payables management also, if you want to know from lecture notes, okay, but it's same with receivable management. This one same with this one. Cash management, just now we have already discussed Palmer model. Miller, or if you want to know how to calculate from lecture notes also so I would say that the last one will be this one. Under receivable management, between factoring and non-factoring, compare the cost. All right, so before I start, so again, I will show you this video again because I think it's the best video to explain what is factoring now, okay? All right, just 2 minutes. Subtitle, okay.
All right. We know what you're thinking. Just what is factoring? And how does it work? Chances are your last memory of factoring involves an 8th grade math assignment and a not so unrelated sick dog. But factoring is so simple, you don't even need to take notes. At Riviera Finance, we do 3 things. We turn your idle invoices into a healthy cash flow. We become your credit department. And we manage your accounts receivable. Got it? Here's how we roll. First, contact Riviera to get credit on your customer, and we'll set a limit on how much credit we're willing to extend for them. After that, simply provide your product or service as usual, and send the invoice to us. After we verified that the product or service was delivered as agreed, you get up to 95% of the invoice in your bank account within 24 hours. At that point, Riviera Finance owns the receivable. From then on, we handle the whole receivable process, right through to receiving and posting payments from the customer. We forward the invoice and supporting backup to your customer. We notify you of any issues that need to be resolved, and we wait to get paid by your customer under your normal invoice terms. If the customer goes bankrupt and can't pay the bill, there's no recourse to you. That becomes Riviera's bad debt, not yours. Our services are available for all invoices you want to factor. And you have real-time access to a full accounting of all transactions using the 24/7 Roam system. Let Riviera turn those idle invoices into cash, eliminate your bad debt, and manage your accounts receivable professionally and efficiently. Why wait? Click locations for the office nearest you, or fill out our simple form to get started now. Idle invoice.
Okay, so as you can see from here, okay, just a quick one. So basically, pretty simple. Factoring is just like you outsource the credit department. That means maybe you are not very good at managing your own credit management issues. Like you need to collect the money from your customers lah, they don't pay it back lah, you do not know how to collect, you are not very good at that. So one of the ways will be you outsource lah. Outsource, it means that you look for the factor. So this is the factor. The company that's offering factoring services, we call that factor. So you approach the factor, you tell them the issue. Okay, so after your negotiations, all these things, like if they're agreed, okay, there will be, you can think like that, there will become your credit management. So basically they offer, like what they mentioned just now, they offer three main services. First, okay, will be the cash advance, which means if you are using their service, you no longer need to wait for your customer to pay you back the money. Like for example, you can have your credit sales 2 months time, credit sales with a credit terms of 2 months. But you send invoice, you go through them first. If they have verified that it's genuine one, you no need to wait for 2 months. From your invoice amount, they will give you the money immediately, up to 95%, not 100%, but maybe 80, 90% from the total amount in 24 hours. So you don't need to wait for your customer to pay you back the money. You'll be more liquid lah, because you can receive the cash immediately and you can continue your operation, even though you are selling on credit. That's the first function. Second function, like what I said, there will be your credit department. They will help you to chase for payment, remind your customer to pay on time. Second function. Third function, it depends on the types of your factoring. There are two types basically, recourse and non-recourse. Like in this example, definitely it's non-recourse. So the third function, if you are using non-recourse factoring, it means that at the end, if your customers that default on payment, no worry on that. The bad debt, the factor will bear the risk of the bad debt. You cover this loss for you. It's no longer your loss. So basically, three main functions you need to remember. If you are using factoring service, first, cash advance. You can get the cash back immediately, up to certain percentage this one. So very good. Every time you're selling on credit, supposedly you need to wait for 1 month, 2 months one. But now you don't need to wait. You send the invoice to factor first. Factor will evaluate that, and then if everything is okay, it will send to your customer. And by doing so, in 24 hours, they will pay you some money already based on the invoice amount, up to 95% in this case. So no need to wait. Very good. Okay. Second, help you to manage your receivable. Third, if your factoring is non-recourse, they help you to cover the risk of the bad debts, bear the risk of bad debts. If your factoring is recourse factoring, then the bad debt you need to bear yourself. If recourse factoring, but this one is non-recourse factoring, obviously, because you can, just now the video explains, that will be backed by them. All right, so this is factoring. So can understand? So back to our question. Again, usually when it comes to this kind of question, same thing. Definitely they will ask you. So if you don't use factoring, this one will be you do it your own, do it yourself, DIY. All right, you have your own credit department, you do it yourself. So credit sales 1 million. If you do it yourself, they will take 45 days to pay you back the money, and you have a bad tax of 2%. All right, and then all your trade receivables, like what I said just now, definitely your current asset financed by something one, financed by bank overdraft, you need to pay a cost of 15%. Okay, if you are using factoring, Of course, they will take over your administration of receivable because there will be a credit department. But of course, it's not free of charge one. They will charge you 2.5% from the credit sales. And this one is a non-recourse factoring. Remember what I said, if non-recourse, it means that you no longer will have a cost of that debt because they will cover the cost for you. All right. And if you are using them, your receivable days will reduce, shorten, will be shortened to 30 days, from 45 to 30 days. Because usually factor very efficient one that can collect back faster the money. Okay. And if you provide the finance for 80% from your trade receivables, it means that this case is assuming if you send them invoice, your trade receivable are selling on credit, they will give you 80%. The cash give you directly. But again, it's actually not giving you the cash. Okay, I use the wrong word. It's just lending you the money first, advance you the money first. They will also charge you an interest one. Here is 8% per year. So now, what we should do is very simple. I know that a lot of information, but no need to worry. Follow steps. That how I taught the students in diploma also. You just follow the steps. So basically, you need to know your objective in this question are very simple. Is to compare the cost between using factoring and without factoring. You want to see which one is lower, which one is better. I do it myself better or I use factoring better. So we talk about without factoring first. And every time, first thing, trust me, regardless without factoring, with factoring, you calculate the sales and receivable first. Because later we will use them, the figures. Without factoring, if we are not using factoring, sales 1 million. Receivables, how to calculate? Very simple. I know that receivable days 45 days. So I can use 45 days, 365. Okay. 1 year 365 times 1 million. And the answer will be this one. You all understand? It's from the receivable days formula. It's just that now I want to find the average receivable. So you rearrange the formula, it becomes like that. Right? 45 divided by 365 times 1 million. It will be 123. Okay. This one is the amount of receivable. If you are not using factoring, you manage your receivables yourself. Okay, so if you manage your receivable yourself, what will be the cost? Okay, so first thing, remember, all your current assets must be financed by something with a cost one. So here saying that all your trade receivables, you use the borrowing to finance one because it's asset this one. So 123,287.67 times 15%. You finance by 15% overdraft. So will be finance cost is 18,493.15. Can understand this one? Because like what I explained just now, I have already explained. All the current assets of long-term assets must be financed, right? Because your total asset must be equals to total equity plus total liability one, which means that actually all your asset must be financed by something in a company. In here is saying that your trade receivables, current asset is financed by current liability, bank overdraft. So if we are talking about bank overdraft, with a cost of 15% here. Okay, so 1 year you need to pay this much of money And for the bad debt, okay, because here saying if you are not using factoring, no one will bear the risk for you, so you need to pay yourself 2% from the sales. So if 2% from 1 million, it means 20,000. 2% from 1 million is 20,000. Okay, so this one very simple, 20,000. Very hard to see. Okay. Then after that, administrative costs. Okay, you look at this one. BJ company estimates that by using the factor, it will save admin cost 8,000 per year. Which means, if you read here, then you will understand. It means that if you are not using factoring, you need to pay admin cost of 8,000. Here, you need to pay additional 8,000. Because here saying if you are using factoring, you save this money. So if you are not using factoring, you need to pay 8,000. It means that you manage yourself. So if you add everything up, the answer will be, just refer to the answer, 46493. 46493. Okay, step by step. So try to understand this one first. 1 minute. As long as you see what factor and then factoring, I can tell definitely if you see that in your final, definitely is compare the cost. So in your mind you must know, this one objective is to compare the cost. So don't panic. You just put without factoring what happened, with factoring what happened, what are the total costs for each of them. Then you add everything up, see which one is lower, and if you select the lower one. This one will be if you DIY do it yourself. 1 year 46,000 something. You manage the receivables yourself. Because you need to consider about the days also very important. The longer the days, basically it means the more working capital needed, the more receivables you are having. And the more receivables you are having, the more finance cost you need to pay. Okay? If you have no question so far. If you have no question, then we proceed. Another definitely is, how about if you are using factoring, then what happened? Okay, in this case, using factoring, the sales remain the same. Okay, also 1 million, but this one be careful. Remember, all of you, use factoring. Sometimes the question will mention if you are using factoring, your sales will drop 5%, will drop 10%. So you need to adjust accordingly. Reason is because if you are using factoring, usually your customers that do not like that one. Because like what I said, factor, they are the expert in collecting the debts. They are very efficient one and very stringent. So that's why maybe if you are using factoring, your customers that don't like that, your customers will know one. Because you see the procedure will be, you send the invoice. I can tell you realistically will be, you send the invoice to the factor will check. Actually, they will check is it genuine or not. Everything is genuine and you have already sent the goods, everything okay, then they will attach their own letter, okay, on top of your invoice, and then they will send to your customer. Basically, it's telling your customer that now this company, okay, their receivables or the amount later you pay is paid to me. It's not paid to the company directly because they actually appoint us. They are using the factoring services. So which means that if you are using factoring, I can tell you all your customers will know one. Definitely they will know. Because if you go through the factor first, factor add their letter and then send to your customer. So that you know that they make the payment to the factor, not to you. And when they know that, sometimes they will be afraid because they will be thinking, wow, now this one, I'm no longer dealing with you. I'm dealing with the factor. The factor is a very efficient one. They keep calling one. So that's why maybe your sales will be affected. If the question say that your sales will drop, then you need to adjust accordingly. But this one, it does not mention anything, so we can assume it remains the same. Alright? But receivable definitely does sama because receivable, they are so efficient. No longer 45 days, so only 30 days. Times 1M also. It will be 82 191.7. Only RM. Alright, so as you can see, the shorter the time, definitely the lower the amount of your receivable, and the lower the amount that you need to finance for your working capital. Alright, so we calculate the total cost right now. Okay, in here, common mistake from students, remember, we still need to finance part of the working capital, part of the receivable by using overdraft. Reason, because you see this one, even though the factor will lend you the money first, but it's not 100%. Here saying what? They will only give you 80% from your trade receivable, lend you the money first. So the remaining 20%, you still need to wait for your customer to pay you back the money. So which means, the 20% of your new receivable, this amount, you still need to pay 15% cost, overdraft cost, because your overdraft 15%. Still need to be financed by overdraft because they only finance you 80% only. So you send them invoice, yes, you get the money immediately, no need to finance anymore. But it's only 80% of the total amount. 20% you still need to wait for your customer to pay back the money. So which means that 20%, 0.2 times 82191.78 times at 15% cost will be 22465.75. You still need to pay this amount of finance cost. All right, and they finance you 80%, right? They give you the money directly 80%. Wow, very happy. But like what I said, it's not really giving you the money first. They are like lending you the money first, so you no need to wait. And when they are doing that, this amount of money they will charge you, not bad already like this question, they charge you only 8%. So better than you finance by using OD. Okay? So the money that lend to you first, they will charge you 8% interest per year. Which equals to 5260.27. Alright? Okay, and one more cost always, like what I said, they help you to monitor the credit management. Okay, it's not free of charge one. Here is telling you that they will charge you 2.5% based on the credit sales as the administration of receivable ledger and collection. Well, it means that they help you to manage, help you to collect the money. So they will charge you 2.5% based on your credit sales. So 2.5% if you calculate is 25,000. Okay, so that's all. And then we need to add up everything. The total cost will be below at the answer faster. 32726. 32726. If you are using factoring for 1 year. So after that, actually, we have already done. So which one is better? Again, this one we are calculating the cost. Definitely the lower, the one better. So in this case, we should opt for the factoring service. Should use this one. We don't monitor ourselves. We go to appoint them to help us to monitor or manage our trade receivables. All right. Again, actually, it's not hard also. But in this kind of question, remember the balance need to be financed by overdraft. While the money you get from them, they will charge you 8%, 80% from the amount. You follow the step, then actually it's quite simple. You just need to know that the objective is to compare the cost. So I need to find out the total cost of without factoring and total cost of using the factoring. Then without factoring or factoring, first step, trust me, find the sales and receivable first. You must find these two first because later on all the costs, a lot of them are based on this figure one. So you must have the two figures first. Then you calculate all the total costs. Depends on the question. Then you'll be able to get the answer. And you compare which one is lower. Then that one is the better one. Okay? Any question that you are having? I'll wait for another 1-2 minutes. So next week we will still have class. I mean during this time I will still be here. But like what I told y'all, it's up to you whether you want to attend or not. Okay, I let y'all to have the option because supposedly your class next week is the midterm which will be on Friday, 5 to 7 or 7 to 9. You go back to search. I think 7 to 9. 7 to 9, Friday 7 to 9. all right, midterm. Your attendance will be taken based on your midterm test, all right. But because we still have class 1, so I will be here also, or 5 to 7, 5 to 7. Thank you, Arun. So I will still be here. So if you have any questions, like if you are doing a revision, you don't understand, you can still ask me. During this period, I will be still here, using the same line. But it's up to you lah. If you are confident enough, no question at all, then you can no need to attend. Any more questions? Okay, if you have no question, I think that's all for today. We will end the class earlier today. Okay, no question, then bye-bye. I see you all in the lecture class. Okay, bye-bye.